Hello and welcome to school on Thursday, the 21st of October 2021. But why is this episode so special? Well, because today is my birthday. I am now 17. So, today is the first time in a long time that I've worn something that isn't a suit or something that I need to wear for school. Because we were going to Ganaway today, which it really isn't how I wanted to spend my birthday, but it was forced on us. Because forcing fun works. But anyway, I wore a Under Armour shirt, Lee Cooper hoodie, and a waterproof coat to so if it didn't rain. And then my mum packed a bottle of water and 2 packets of Watsits. So I go to school as normal and go to form class because I thought that's where we were supposed to go in the morning because while we're waiting for the buses and all. After a while, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't think we're supposed to go here, so maybe it's the hall. So I went to go to the hall, but then I saw a couple of people on our year go to the study hall, so I decided to follow them. And it turns out that yeah, you did have to go to the study hall. I know that me saying follow them sounds uh stalkery, but I thought, oh, are they going to the study hall? Is it in the study hall they're supposed to go? So that's why I followed them. But anyway, uh, everyone gets there, and it turns out that one of my mates isn't going because he like sliced his hand or something. Um, people were making jokes, calling him Ethan Winters, which I didn't know those people were fans of Resident Evil, or maybe they only played maybe they only played it, or maybe just watched Resi 8 because sexy vampire lady. But we got on the bus, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be great. I could do whatever, probably read Game of Thrones, and I was reading Game of Thrones a bit, and then someone had opened up Clash of Clans intentionally with their volume all the way up, and no one really said anything about it. Um, you know, you hear the sort of Supercell logo sound effect followed by the Halloween Clash of Clans theme song, followed by the like hub theme song and the sound of collecting your elixir and gold and all. And then it just stopped. I don't know if they stopped playing or they went off Clash of Clans, but whatever. Um, but we get there and we stop and go, wait, where the hell is this? I remember going here 5 years ago. Because this would have been my third time going to Ganaway. The second time was in year 8, and the first time was my friend had a birthday party there, which was only a couple months before we went there in year 8. So we start walking towards the place, and I go, "Oh, this is the place. Never mind." Um, we go to the like sort of cafe area, I guess. I don't know what else called, so I'm just gonna call it that from now on. We set our stuff down, and we go into the hall, and they split us up into 4 groups. I think I was group number 4. We went down to a smaller hall, and the guy said that we need to like build a bridge using crates and planks of wood. Go from point A to point B without touching the floor. And then you pick up this like carton. You bring it back. You sort of deconstruct the bridge, and you have to bring it from point A to point C. And it was a lot of fun. Despite I didn't really do anything about that because there just wasn't anything for me to do. But at the end, we all had to sort of cross this wee bridge, and I thought, oh, I'm going to screw it up for everyone, I'm going to fall, but I didn't, which was surprising. My brother's knocking everything over in the other room. But we'll all get across, and then the guy says, right, we're playing Connect 4. I don't bloody Connect 4. They have this, I'm most likely to point this out in year 8, but they have this like 3D Connect 4 that my primary school had. But it wasn't just playing 3D Connect 4, because Connect 4 is like turn based. For this, it was just go as fast as you can. And another thing, we had these sort of, I don't know what they were called, but they look like cotton wool tips. Q-tips. You got like this big Q-tip, and you had to like sort of dribble the dot to the Connect 4 board, or whatever the hell you call it, and put in. And then after that, you had to do it by holding it on the tip of the Q-tip, which we dominated them in, because like one of the people in our group stacked 4 on top of the tip and then sort of rested their chin on it. And that wasn't against the rules, so he just smashed them. And within another sort of game mode, I guess. And then that was it. We went out. We're told to put a harness on. I was like, oh no, we're going to do wall climbing. I don't want to do wall climbing. But no, we went outside. I was like, oh no, we have to do this thing. Once again, no, we don't. We have this Scottish guy who is hilarious. Being just a typical angry Scottish guy. And turns out we weren't doing that sort of like high stuff. What we had to do was once again split up into even smaller teams of 4. And this wasn't really like a competitive thing. But basically one person would stand on a crate. Another person would be a sort of anchor for them. And the 2 other people would pull the rope that the anchor was also pulling down. So basically, it's 4 teams, I guess, and they have to. They each have a milk crate, but then they start to stack more milk crates onto it. So you have to move into another person's personal space so that they can set that milk crate down. And then the higher up they go, you have to pull the rope more and more. I was too much of a wuss to uh, do that myself. I was pulling the rope and being the anchor. Um, but they would like stack, I think, 9 crates, and then eventually the Scottish guy would literally, like, this is Sparta, kick them, the crates under them, and they would just go flying. um, and there was just people being, like, sort of scared and whatnot. He would just get so angry, like, come on, my wife's putting on chicken. It wasn't chicken tenders, it was chicken goujons. They're gonna be burnt by now. And I thought, right, I wonder if this man can say purple burglar alarm, which I've did some more research into that, and I think it turns out that, like, let me admit it, to lying about not being able to say it. Oh, by the way, this photo was snapped when we were walking in, and this is I've said his name before. I don't want to say his name again, so I'm gonna have to give a fake. Oh yeah, I did give a fake name already, but it was like something hard to remember. Like, it was the something man. It was that guy that went, huh? Um, so I'm just gonna have to create a better fake name. We'll go for Frank. Actually, there's no point in using a fake name because I said to Dylan, you're in my shot there. He's like, oh, let's take a photo. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's his son. He's like, let's take a photo together. So, snap that. And then when we're in the sort of cafe area, I snap this. And Kelly had said that this guy here, I've never mentioned before, like the guy I never mentioned before, looked like Rumpelstiltskin. So I googled him. The guy looks nothing like that. Like, I went through that, the Shrek version of it, the Once Upon a Time version of it. This guy that Kelly said looks like him looks nothing like him. What is this? Right, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Shameless has asked if I'm still watching. So, at the end of the thing, our group had sort of like had this idea that once you're about to fall off, you start break dance on the top of milk crates. But then after we were all done, the 2 teachers that were with us were going on it and have like 3 milk carts, and then decided to do it with 2. And with 2, they were just hugging each other the entire time. So people, like, people were making all sexual and stuff. So I said, if someone has their phone, get out and start playing Careless Whisper. But after we did that, we went back to like get lunch, and I decided to look up Careless Whisper, found the lyric video. Also took a photo of me with my helmet on. I was gonna tie my hair up again, but I decided screw it, I'm not going to, which I should have actually. But the photo's in the way. But this guy said, ever since I found this song out years ago, my depression hasn't been sexier. um. So that had like a lunch thing, which honestly it looked and smelled disgusting. So and it was confusing, like what you were supposed to do to actually get it. So I decided, screw it, I'm not gonna make a jackass myself. I'm just not gonna get it. I'll just eat those 2 packets of Watsits my mum gave me. But after that, we went out, and this time it was to go on the zip line. But our group of 16 was too big, so they split us up again into 2 groups of 8. My group was the second group to go on the zip line, but to fill the time, we went to this place like right below the zip line. I think it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what the low ropes are. And I thought what the low ropes were was like maybe half or a quarter the height of the high ropes, but it turns out it isn't. It's like literally an inch off the ground. So they have this like, I'm just gonna say 10 poles in the middle of this place, and he said you have to climb them without like touching the ground. I thought, oh, I can just climb on the top and like step on each of them. But then he said you can't get on the top. And he gave us like these 4 metal poles, and he said there's holes in each of the wooden poles, and you have to stick the metal poles into those holes. But all 8 of us have to like be standing on the metal poles, or at least not be touching the ground. So the person at the front has to place the poles, and the person at the back has to grab the poles from the back and give it up to the person at the front. I was at the back, and surprisingly, I was flexible enough to to like bend down and pick up the poles. Um, but uh, eventually there was this one where I couldn't get it because, like, I think the third pole, the hole is at the very bottom, and then for the fourth pole, it's at the very top. So I had to be at the top of the fourth pole, and somehow reach down to get the third pole, without touching the ground. I couldn't do it, so 2 people swapped with me. Um, and then after we made a full circle, the guy just said, "Oh, just like go on the other stuff," and then we did for a bit. Then the guy was doing zip line said, "Right, everyone's been twice. Uh, your group can go now." Only. Oh, and both the teachers went, and one of them actually went upside down, but because he wasn't in our group, I didn't see it. But why's my throat getting worse and worse? Only 5 people went up in my group. I wasn't one of them because I'm too much of a card. Which I mean, I full well knew that I wouldn't be doing a lot. But yeah. So I was just sitting down, looking at the other group trying to do the pole thing, and they were somehow worse than us. I was smiling the whole way through, and people were like, "Ah, you're loving this, don't aren't you?" Yeah. Then after that, went back inside and it was climbing wall time. And I went maybe about up to the first metal bit. So if you're at Ganaway, you know what I'm talking about. If you weren't there or you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I can't really go into that much more detail. So after that, we went back, and on the bus I read more. And the entire time I was reading Game of Thrones, if I haven't already mentioned that. And it turns out that Daenerys Targaryen, Emilia Clarke's character in the show, is 13 during one of the noon scenes. This is memes as of 10 to 10 p.m. on Thursday. Actually, I don't even need to say that.
Oh no, dead body found, dead body found. Okay, now which one of you chumps is the imposter? I need to figure it out. Okay, so fuck! No! Fuck! Oh. No, why? No, what?
Breaking away from memes because I forgot there's some more stuff to do. Or to say, when I got home, I was given a couple of cards, one from my brother, one from my mum and dad, one from my friends, like that friend that went to Ganaway a couple months before I did. And I got money from everyone except for that friend. That friend gave me 2 chocolate bars, highway roll, I forget what it's called, like, really important book for driving. That's all I can remember. And £20 worth of Google Play money.